You get paid exactly the value you bring to the marketplace.
Yeah.
And if it's really hard, be thankful it's hard.
Yes.
Because that's job security.
Hey, welcome back to the podcast. Super excited to have the world famous Andy C. in the house.
Thank you, Tom.
What's up, brother? What's up?
Not much.
So you know, people that read the Wall Street Journal Top 1000, right, as the most successful real estate agents in the U.S. are absolutely going to recognize your name because you're on that list over and over and over again.
Yep.
I want to have people listen to quickly where you are today, and then I want to go back to 2002. And I really want people to get the journey that you have been on and how you now do what you do.
Okay.
Because I believe you're special.
Thank you.
Because you've done it year in and year out, and you pivot and you've adjusted, right? And you've, like, as a husband, as a father, right? Like as a business person, like he's done so much, but you do the plan. And that's what I want people to get. So let's give them the end result first.
So 2019, 253 sides, just under 450 million.
Yeah.
Just under 9.5 million GCI.
Bam.
Yeah.
And now, just for the record, Saratoga, California.
Saratoga, California, Silicon Valley.
Yeah. So how many transactions?
253, but that's not just in Saratoga. Saratoga, 58 listings, 22 buy side. Yeah. But then, we kill it in Los Gatos, Cupertino, Los Altos, West San Jose. Yeah. So lots of deals everywhere else.
Yeah. And there is a method to this madness, which we're going to get to. And I'm actually going to ask him, this is going to be kind of a strange podcast, almost more like a training / podcast.
Sure. Happy to do it.
Because, he's been so generous to share with so many of our clients from the stage. This is how I do it.
Right.
And I watch people just literally write just notes for days. And then they come back to me and go, hey, get that Andy guy on a podcast. Like, we want to hear that over and over again. So let's go back to 2002. How old were you? How long in the real estate business? How did it begin? And then we're just going to take them all the way through
2002,
the big evolutions.
26 years old, probably just had my second baby.
Yeah.
Was looking for something to do where I could make lots of money, but still take my kids to school and coach soccer. And I knew if I was working, at a big, tech company or a software sales, they probably wouldn't let me roll in at like 10 o'clock as a sales guy and then leave at 2, even if I came back, at 5 o'clock. Yeah. But real estate was something that I knew we could control my own hours, wasn't afraid of working hard, but could still do the things I wanted to do with my family, field trips and that kind of stuff, but still have unlimited income potential. Yeah. So that's why I decided to do real estate.
Is that how it worked out in 2002?
Not in 2002, but I mean, it was up and down. I think the low point was 2009, going 6 months without a paycheck. Yeah. And that's hard because at that time I've got 4 kids, 7 years in the business and literally no savings, good lifestyle.
You were killing it though.
Well, before that, but I wasn't like $1 million producer
you
yet.
You were Andy C.
Yeah.
But you were doing good, Tom.
I was doing good, so, 500,000-600,000. But
we're going to get to 2009, but go back to 2002.
2002.
What was the original plan?
Original business plan.
How are you generating your business?
So, Tom, you were my first coach, and you told me 3, 2, 1. 3 hours of prospecting every single day, set 2 appointments, go on 1 every single day. And back then what you told me was, I'm not even good at talking to people, let alone talking to them about real estate, let alone talking about real estate and trying to close something. So you said, go out every day, talk to people, even if you throw up on yourself, just talk to people, and sooner or later it'll come together. And it did. So the first 6 months, so literally, this is all cold calling. None of it's open house. None of it's anything.
Well, your sphere wasn't buying houses, right? You weren't going to get a ton of referrals,
exactly.
Right? So
exactly. So it's all cold calling. First, maybe 6 months, I did like 2 or 3 for sale by owners. Probably made like $120,000, and kind of the rest is history, kind of thing. But after 2 years of doing that, this gal in my office came to me with a new home construction project, and she said, you got to do like 20 open houses a month, but in return, she's going to give me 1/5 of the listing side of all these deals. Yeah. And that was basically like giving me a $3 million listing. But we got to do all these open houses. So then I kind of switched gears. I started doing open houses like crazy. And that's really where the evolution of where I am today took off.
100%.
So I go open house for a really long time. 2009 crashes, probably around 2010, 11 is when you and I start farming. We go after the Golden Triangle. That's the first 3,000 home farm we go after. And then we do spot farms, condo townhome complex up in Palo Alto, another one in Santa Clara. And then after that, all of Saratoga and all of Los Gatos, and then basically the west side of Santa Clara County.
Yeah.
Right. And that's where we are today.
How many total homes do you mail to in a month?
At any given time, we probably put out somewhere between a minimum 50 up to $100,000, 100,000 houses in mailing. And I say up to because, we'll do a lot of just listed, just sold. So depending on the volume of a given month, we'll pop those out.
Sure. So what's interesting is we've got you, Josh Rubin, Jay and Jem over in the DC, Maryland area. That these guys are just literally become these powerhouses through direct mail, but it's not direct mail. It's direct mail. It's open houses. It's farming. It's open houses, and it's doing the work. So let's go into right now, like, you are legendary at open houses. I know you want to talk farming. We're going to talk Geo-Farm too, because we got a lot of Geo-Farmers that are like, but I want them to get the 1-2 punch.
Okay,
so
sure.
I'm literally asking you to put, don't put Andy C, Rockstar agent on. Let's be Andy C, sales trainer, trying to educate people to become amazing at open houses. What do they do?
So 5 things out the gate. We've talked about this. Number 1, 20 to 25 signs. You got to put lots of signs out if this is going to be your way of doing real estate. If you're going to have open house be the cornerstone of how you're going to build your business, you got to have what I call a giant fishing net out there. The more, the bigger the fishing net, the more fish come in, the more you eat. So the more signs you put out, the more people are going to come to the open house, the more likelihood you're going to get somebody who likes the house, more likely they're going to write an offer, more likely you're going to write an offer that will be accepted. So I'm a huge believer in open houses. And
is there any strategy behind where you put the signs? Because I'm not even going to address the person that's like, hey, I'm in New York City, I'm in downtown Chicago, I'm in downtown. Okay, you can't do it. Okay, I'm not going to address the person that says, I live in La Jolla and they only let us put one sign. Okay, we're talking to everybody else, which is like I always say, 99% of the country.
2 highway exits, 3 major intersections, 2 signs on every turn to the house.
Say it again.
So 2 highway exits, 3 major intersections, and 2 signs on every turn to the house. Because if a teenager thinks it's funny to ride his bike by and kick your sign over, you're out of business for 3 hours and you don't know why. Right? And so, you got to put the signs out. That's number 1. Number 2 is, you got to focus on one person at a time, Just one person at a time. And you don't break eye contact. You don't break eye contact with them unless you know they're an appointment or not. And an appointment we're trying to set is somebody that wants to buy or sell a house. So you're meeting with them after the open house to discuss how you can help them with that or go through disclosures with them. Or you're going over to their house to tell them how much their house is worth, how quickly you can get it sold. Okay. So number 1, 20, 25 signs. Number 2, you talk to one person at a time. Number 3 is
hold on. But what do you do when you're talking to, I'm talking to Brandon here, and we're fully engaged, and we're in this great conversation, and this real buyer walks in and they've got like 2 kids they're dragging through the house, and no one in their right mind does that unless they're buying a house.
Maybe. I mean, you're right. Like,
no, but when you get to the real life scenario,
real life, you got to read it really fast in a real life situation. If I think this person's real or not, then I might just say, like, the standard line is, look, take a look at the house. If you have any other questions, let me know. And they'll never talk to you again. And then I can go to that next person.
Okay.
But you need to just read it really well. Once you do as many open houses as I've done, there's so many subconscious body language things that you can read on a person that you'll know if it's worth your time or not. And you got to just do tons and tons of open houses, be able to get that knowledge, to be able to know who's coming in and what they're looking for.
Okay, so 1 is the signs.
1 is signs.
2 is one at a time.
3 is the goal that we're trying to achieve in every open house is 1 rock solid appointment. That's what we're going for. And I think too many agents are worried about all the people coming in and out of the house, all the deals that they're losing, and they forget to just make a really good connection with a single person and make 1 solid appointment. And so, I always say 2 is gravy. Because if you actually are diligent and you actually find a really qualified buyer and then you find a second one, you actually have to look at all those houses. You got to set all those appointments. You got to show them the houses in order to actually service them. You couldn't service more than 2 a week realistically without a big team. And so, like, now when we do open houses, I got 2 or 3 agents with me so that we can help all of them, at the open house, right? So number 1, lots of signs. Number 2, 1 person at a time. Number 3, set 1 appointment. Number 4, okay, you got to be an expert at the open house, at the neighborhood. Okay,
the local market.
You need to know the comps. You should know how many houses sell a year, how many houses are in the market, what's the median price, is the trend going up, is the trend going down, the houses that are currently under contract? Have you called the listing agents? Have you found out how many offers they got? Are they above at asking or are they below? You got to know the inventory that's coming so that you can bring massive value to the table.
Okay, you just rattled off so many things. And I think you and I both know most agents just kind of show up to their open house and there's no one there because they don't put any signs up. Right. Or it's a tasty listing and they think it doesn't matter. It's just going to sell in 14 seconds. And if I just get the deal done. So what do I prepare for? And when do you, you're Andy C. You know your market cold. You know the market's cold. Right. But when does the person who wants to become Andy C, when do they do that? I
mean, honestly, it's the slight edge. You know, you're going to get better every single week by doing this every single day. If you're a brand new agent, you're not going to be me on Sunday. No. You know, but at the very least, you can look at the MLS. You can go visit every single house that's currently active or pending. You know, you can call your lender and ask them what the current interest rates are for the 30-year fixed and the 7/1 adjustable, conforming and not conforming, jumbo, super jumbo. You know, you can figure out, you know, Wells Fargo is, you know, has got a cool plan for them, and you know, like that'll drop their rates and all kinds of stuff. There's so much you can do with interest rates and like which way the stock market's heading, and you know, you can give them an idea of value of like, why should you buy this, right? You know, XYZ company just moved into town, or they just signed this giant leasing space. They're going to bring 10,000 new, you know, employees here. It's going to increase the market quickly. Like we saw that in downtown San Jose.
Absolutely.
Google shows up. They're going to spend zillions of dollars. And, you know, they're going to add 20,000 people, and Rose Garden went crazy. You know?
Exactly.
So you need to know that kind of stuff. And I think you can't learn it overnight, but you can bring a lot of value in 5 days. You can bring a lot of value in 5 days.
And what about like just knowing the community?
Yeah, so like I always say, you got to know where the dry cleaning is, all the private schools, all the public schools, what the school scores are, you know, the small Chinese restaurant with the good kung pao chicken, right? You got to know everything. Because that's how you show you're an expert. Like, you know, I grew up in Saratoga, right? I went to school in Saratoga, right? I know all where to ride my bike behind the places so you don't on the busy streets. I played tennis at courtside, you know? So I can say, would you guys like to do that? You want to play golf at La Rinconada? So I can sell the story of living in Saratoga. And just, you know, that's why sellers want to hire me also, because I can sell that.
Bingo.
Right? But the buyers love it because they know, buyers want to know if they're getting a good deal or not. They know which part of Saratoga is good or not. Saratoga's got 6 high schools. Don't make a mistake unless you know what you're getting into. Right? And so you got to know that kind of stuff. You got to know, traffic routes, you know, how to get to places and stuff like that. So just the more you know, the more value you bring, and that's what people are buying.
And these are the questions that the real buyer is asking you. We're in the research phase. We're trying to figure this out. Should we be at this high school or that high school? How do I get on the right?
How does that translate to like return over the last 20 years? Right? Depending on which area of Saratoga I invested in, which one was better over that time period, single family home or townhome. Right? Which one was better? Right? And so the more you can educate them and help them make a good decision, the better off you can be. So,
dude, you're like a machine.
You got to be a machine, man. You got to know it all. You know, and I always tell brand new agents this too. Imagine you were an agent making $10 million a year, doing 250 deals a year. What information would you expect that person to know to work with them? And just start writing. And just start learning that stuff. And that's how you become that, right? Fake it till you make it. That's all it is. It's just fake it till you make it stuff.
So number 5 on the open house list?
If this is your sole method of prospecting, I used to say 40 hours a month. Now I say 80 hours a month minimum.
So, and I want to be clear. We're coaching. And he's like, I'm not making any more phone calls. I'm like, great. Open house are working for you. But he's like, I'm going all in. Like you just like, we're like, I'm gonna do open houses like 9 days a week. So like, talk about that.
So obviously when you do a Monday through Friday, people aren't expecting you to do open houses. You got to put sign riders up that say open today, Monday from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. And you know, you're not going to get, 10 people an hour. You get 3 people the whole time. It's 3 people that you weren't going to get, but hopefully you're reading books, you're making phone calls from the open house. I mean, especially today, you got a computer on your phone. It's an office.
You're running your business on your laptop.
They can cold call expires for sale by owners, everything.
Whatever they want to do.
Everything from the open house. They can call their friends like, I'm in an open house, come check it out. They can do anything like that. And so that's what they should be doing with their time. But it's billboards all over town with your name on it. People know you're working that day. And I think there's no better way to build your business. And the analogy that I always give is, who is the seller that has more to lose than anybody if something's not sold? And people will say foreclosure people or people in a short sale. I'm like, no, you know who it is? new construction project.
Yeah.
They've got millions and millions of dollars.
And what do they do?
Open house.
Every
Monday through
day.
Sunday. 9 a.m. to 9
day.
p.m.
Yep.
Flags and signs all over town.
Food, water.
They don't even share it on the MLS. They don't even cooperate with brokers.
No.
They keep it all in-house. And so that's when a seller tells me open houses don't work, I don't want to do it. I'm like, what? These are the people that have to sell it the most. This is how they do it.
Yes.
Right? It's like going to a doctor and saying, I've got cancer, but I don't want to do chemo. You got something else? No, you're gonna die.
Yeah. No, I want you to do it my way.
Yeah, exactly.
No. We're gonna do it the way that works.
Yeah. Do it my way because it works.
Yes.
Right. And that's the thing that people have to also understand on open houses is at the end of the day, you're there to sell the house.
Yeah.
You need to ask every single person walking in the door, would you like to write an offer on this house?
Yeah.
Because that will create other conversations that you can go to, and help them.
Okay, you're so. I've known you for a long time. You're very direct, and obviously we're in a quasi-training podcast. You know what I mean? Like, that smile, like that's the Andy C that I know. You're like, you got to get up, right? So,
so it's like this.
What's
so,
Andy
so
C at an open house?
So what do you think?
I just want to be clear.
Yeah. So what do you think? You want to write an offer?
Yeah, you guys want to write an offer?
What do you think? Would you like the disclosures so we can talk about writing an offer?
Yeah.
So what do you think? Would you like the disclosures, and then we'll set an appointment. We'll sit down. We'll go through everything so I can tell you everything that you need to know.
Yeah.
That's the line right there.
Of course.
So like the.
But for the person that's watching,
that was
they're like, whoa, okay, man, this guy's intense.
No,
right?
you know what I say is like, here's how you greet people at the open house. Your mindset has to be, if you were seeing somebody from high school that you haven't seen for a long time, a really good friend, like, oh my gosh, what are you doing here?
What's up?
Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
That emotion, that facial expression, that body language, it takes people's defenses down. They feel good.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, like, wow, I'm excited to be here.
Yeah.
And when you attract people, you're attractive.
Yes.
And now they want to work with you.
Yes.
And it's a high energy. It's sales at an energy transfer. They want to work with people. And that's what we do. And so you do that, and that breaks down some barriers. But that's really just trying to get to the truth of what they're looking for. You're looking for the real buyers. Is this exactly what they're looking for? If it is, great. Let's put the deal together. If not, let's find out something that works.
Yeah. So let's switch gears. And I think there's, you've done that I've watched you do it in 30 minutes, 5 minutes. That was awesome. And I think what's great now is we've got it in this format where someone could really just listen to it over and over and over. Like this would be that thing that they would like have like on their phone, like, okay, I'm going into an open house. I'm going to listen to this like 3 more times and that's how we got good, right? I mean,
that's exactly how we got good.
We would take these scripts, we'd hear people, we would have like audio cassette record. Andy, say that again. And we'd listen to it like 43 times.
Exactly right. I mean, I can still do your cold call script right now, and I haven't done it for 16 years. Oh my God. I can do it right now.
When do you plan on moving?
Hey, this is Andy with Untitled Real Estate. Just doing a little marketing in the area. Just calling to find out when you plan on moving. Never. How long you been in this dress? 40 years. Hey, you got the record today. Where'd you move from? Texas. Wow, there's the move. Again, my name's Andy. What's your name? John. Hey, John, if you were to move, where would you go next? Yeah. And when might that be? I mean, cold. 16
years later, buddy.
I don't need that. I don't cold call.
No. People are cold calling you. Hi, Andy. Can we work with you?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's try. That was actually really priceless. That's the Instagram moment right there that we want to put on there. But no, we're actually not talking about. We're talking about open houses and Geo-Farming and how to do 252 deals a year. So let's take them back to the Geo-Farming, and then let's go deep because we got these legendary farmers. You're one of them, right? And it's so funny when I say that because like you talk to somebody in New York City, like prior to someone like a Josh Rubin, they're like farming. And I'm like, how about like get lots of come list me calls, and then when you do open houses, you connect the dots, and then they're like, oh my God, but I'm giving away your secret sauce here.
So
tell them.
Very rarely is it a come list me on straight farming. Very rarely. Yeah. So, and I think that's the thing that people have to recognize and realize up front. If you do farming the way the best farmers do it, all you're getting is an invitation to sit at the kitchen table to do a listing presentation.
Bingo.
And
you're on the consideration set.
To knock it out of the park.
Yep.
If you're bad at listing presentations, don't do it.
Yeah.
Spend your money on your sphere. Take them to dinner, schmooze them. Because I'm not going to get that listing because you're their best friend.
Yeah.
But if you're going to go Geo-Farm, you got to know that listing presentation has to be on point, and you have to be able to put a plan together and hopefully have a really good track record to prove everything that you're about to say in that presentation. Yep. And that's how you get the deals.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. Yes.
So, frequency is a very important thing. The messaging is very important. But at the end of the day, they want to know you sell lots of houses. You do it, for lots of money. You get it done quickly, and then we can throw in different guarantees and stuff like that. Yeah. Customer quotes and testimonials, proof pieces, all that kind of stuff.
This is everything that we've talked about in every geographic farming like video
I've
ever shot, right?
Yeah, every time.
And then do it every 2 weeks.
Yeah, and I think where people get discouraged is when they get to the listing appointment and they're not ready. or they don't know what they're up against.
So I'm gonna play a scenario. I'm gonna make you're the coach.
Okay.
And so we're talking to somebody right now who has done 7 transactions
In the farm?
Right? Total.
Oh, total. Okay.
They know 6 people in the farm. They know 6 people. They haven't done a deal with them. They've done 2 transactions in the farm.
Right.
They've identified this as a good turnover farm with only one dominant agent, but they're only doing like 22% of the transactions.
That's a lot.
I know. But then everything else is 22%. And then everything else is just 1, including their 2. What do you tell them to do?
There's one agent doing 22%, that's a lot.
I know.
So you know.
I know.
And then to roll into that farm, the first thing what I would really tell that person is you probably need to start by door knocking and dropping flyers, because you need to build a relationship with all those people. Like that's how Less Full taught me. Yeah. Right. You just go straight door knocking. Less. Right. And then you market update. So the script is you have a market update, and you go ding dong. Yeah. Nobody's home. You put it on the doormat. Ding dong. Nobody's home. Put it on the doormat. Ding dong. Someone's home. You go real estate update, and you walk away. So I'll do it again if you missed that.
Listen, I worked with Les. He was my client. I mean,
So that was actually, I got that from another guy, Eric Fisher-Colbray. But what Les does, which is brilliant.
I can tell you to do the list.
So this is what he does. So his farm is Hayward.
Yep.
Whole city.
Northern California.
He knows he's going to spend $22 a year on each house.
Yep.
His goal is to kick out as many as he can. So after he's like...
Kick out doesn't mean sell. Yeah. Figure out who's not ever going to list with him, and then take him off the list.
Goes, hey, it's Andy again. Yeah. How have you been enjoying the market updates? Yada, yada, yada. So, Tom, if you were to sell, do you already have a real estate agent that you trust? Or is there an opportunity for me to earn your future business?
Say it again.
Hey, Tom, if you were to sell, do you already have a real estate agent that you trust? Or is there an opportunity for me to earn your future business?
I'd say there's an opportunity.
Great.
But I mean, we're not thinking about doing anything right away.
Totally understand. Here's my name. Here's my number. What's yours? Write it down, right? You give them the card. And then you look down, you write it down. And now, is it okay if I just call every 3 to 6 months or so, just give you an update and let you know what's going on?
Sure.
Perfect. Bam. So then, that's just straight lesson.
That was money.
That was money. That's money.
Yeah.
That line is so good.
Yeah.
You're saying, will you trust? I'm going to earn it. I'm not asking for the business.
Yep. And I know you're not going to do it right away. Yep. And if they say, well, maybe just call me every 6 months.
So
no
good.
problem.
So that's how you build the database.
But, so step 1 is in the farm.
Yeah.
So we gave him 2 options. Ding dong, here it is. Yeah. Or, hey, hi, Tom Ferry, Banana Real Estate.
Well, I would ding dong in the farm first for at least a month or 2. I think it's scary to go.
Just hand it to him?
Yeah, just hand it to him.
Yeah.
For a month or 2.
Yeah.
And then month 3, you can do the other thing. Now you're building a relationship with people. Yeah. And then hopefully you've done a deal or 2, so now you can save up money. So I always say you got to have at least 2 years money saved for 2 times a month mailings.
Yeah.
Otherwise, don't do it, because you're going to blow your money.
Well, because if you do 3 or 4 months and then you stop, you just took that cash and you lit it on fire and you threw it in the trash.
First class stamp mail, $77,000.
Thank you very much. That was a very expensive mistake.
It was cheap.
Yes.
How much money did it save you in the long run, right?
Well, I would say that it generated me tens of millions of dollars making that mistake.
Right, exactly. Yeah. I had the same mistake. Yeah. I spent like $250,000 investing with a friend in Mongolia.
Yeah.
What I learned: don't ever invest in something. I made a ton of money. You told me not to do it.
That was on film. We got that. I told you not to do that.
Only invest in things you're an expert in.
Yes.
So now I only invest in real estate in the Bay Area.
Yes.
Right, and killing it.
I think that seems to be working out.
Just great.
So I'm a new agent.
Yeah.
I've done 2 deals. Yeah. I know 6.
Yeah.
Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. Here's a market update. Yep. Here's a market update. Yep. Here's a market update.
Yep.
If you have a listing, here's a listing. Yeah. Come to my open house. Yeah. So it's not just ding dong. Here's the market update.
Yeah.
I mean, I love how simple we're making this.
It has to be simple, because they're not going to do it otherwise.
Yeah.
It's scary. They're not going to do it.
So but print out 100 flyers.
Yeah. An hour a day. I used to say 2 hours a day, but it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's a lot of, you got to do it in tennis shoes. Mm-hmm. And that's for the agent that doesn't have a lot of money and they have more sweat equity than dollar equity.
Yep.
And you go out and you do that and you build relationships in the marketplaces, and then over time it's a slight edge, right?
Yeah.
Maybe 1 deal this year, maybe 2 the next year, but then it's 4, and then it's 8, and then it's 20, and then it's 45, right?
Yeah.
And that's how the slight edge works.
Yeah.
Right.
I had Camellia from Colorado Springs in a session here on Sunday, and we're talking about her business. She says to me, all my business comes from my past clients in Sphere, like 155, 160 transactions a year. She kills it.
Okay.
And I said, what about your farms? Oh, well, I do 65% of all the deals there. I go, how many is that? 40. I said, but what I loved, because I hear this all the time is, but see, I've taken on my farm. They are my sphere. Right. So talk about that. Right, because it's like I get what she's saying. All my business comes by way of referral. I'm like, yeah, but you do 2 direct mail pieces a month to 2,200 homes with great turnover in Colorado Springs, and she has a ton of business there. She calls it referrals because that's how she treats it.
Yeah, I get some business from past clients' sphere of influence, but we're in a marketplace.
No. These are straight up. Like I'm going against another agent who's also marketing, who's their friend, but I'm the Geo-Farming expert.
Yeah.
But her mindset is, the farm is my sphere.
Oh, okay.
You with me?
I gotcha. No,
that's not your
like
mindset. That's all,
I appreciate it's a different approach. I like it. Yeah. That's good. But
what are your thoughts?
I could try it. I'll try to incorporate it, just change your mindset a little bit. But
for
the most part, we're going in pretty cold on most of them.
Yeah.
And they're seeing proof piece after proof piece after proof piece. And
define a proof piece for the person that doesn't know what we're talking about.
So it's just, I just sold, I think it was 2,200 or 22,000 Argonaut for $4 million.
Yeah.
Right. When everybody thought it was only going to sell for 3.6.
Yeah.
And I blew Brett away with how we marketed, how we negotiated, all cash, closed in 7 days. You got 60 days free rent back.
Yeah.
Knocked it out of the
park.
And
does the card actually say that?
Yeah, it says all that.
See, that's
right.
It's not a just sold card.
Yeah.
It's how I did it, what I did, what the result was. Do you get a little quote from the client?
Absolutely. Quote from the client. And then, and that was a great one too, where we remodeled the kitchen, but very inexpensively.
Yeah.
Right. We just painted the cabinets white. We redid the backsplash, and we kept the countertops and the appliances.
Yeah.
But it made it look like a $40,000 remodel.
Bingo. Bingo.
So that's how we do it.
Let's talk about listing presentations.
Okay.
So that agent is like, okay, well, I have been farming, and I got that first listing, but then I went on 3 straight. And I hear this from a lot of people. I went on 3 straight, and the assumption is because that they called you on the card, they walk in like, I got this. Yeah. And they forget that this is where like you got to be a salesperson. You got to qualify. You got to figure out because you're definitely competing.
Right.
You're on their consideration set. Oh, thank God they called.
Yeah.
So what do you do today in a listing appointment when they know you, but they know 3 other agents because my goodness, Saratoga, Sunnyvale, all the places we're talking about, there's 8 million agents.
Yeah, I think every presentation is different. And that's, I think you have to understand. You got to go into it understanding that. Like the one I just got that we were just talking about for, $5 million, I know, so I pre-qualified on the phone and I said, how many people are you interviewing? He said 3. And I said, so, I just asked, who am I interviewing? He said, ABC. And I knew all of them. I also already know their production because I am the expert in the marketplace. I actually knew the first guy had never sold a house there because he works in a different part of town. I knew the other guy just sold one house that was subdividable. He sold both lots and undersold both of them.
Oh, yeah.
And I knew that.
Yeah.
And the reason why I also knew that is because I actually knew the family that sold them because I worked with them 8 years ago, but they both passed away and their kids didn't know me.
Oh yeah.
So it was, it's just I was deep on that.
Yeah.
And the third one,
it was personal when they didn't list.
The third one, they listed. He had been talking with them like 5 years ago, and it's a good team. There's nothing bad about them. But last year they probably did like 4 deals in Saratoga, and the year before that they maybe did like 5 or 6 deals. Right? I did 58 listings last year. Probably like 34 the year before. So like my list is like 70, 80 listings. So I mean, I brought it.
Yeah.
And I don't assume they're going to list with me at that point. Right. I go through some more questions. And I mean, one fun thing I did on that particular one was I said, how much you want for your house? He's like, well, that's why I brought you. I said, okay, I'm going to write down a number. You tell me. I wrote it down. He said 5 million. I opened it up, 5 million. Like, yeah, exactly.
Good. We're on the same page.
Yeah, we're on the same page.
Like you literally nailed it.
I nailed it.
Have you ever not nailed it?
So
or you just know every seller's inflated price?
It's not that I haven't not nailed it. I only probably do that when I've got a pretty good idea of what they're trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
Like I try not to like wing it.
Yeah, this is not a magic trick.
Yeah, that wasn't a magic trick.
Yeah.
I actually in the back of my head I knew he either wanted 4 million or 5 million for that house.
That's a big range.
Yeah, but I also knew what you could do with the property and the potential. It's a really special piece.
Yeah.
So I was very confident, but you don't get that without being the market expert.
No.
Right. And so that's why I was able to do that. And he was like, woo, it looked like a magic trick.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, and then, I'm going to get it sold. And I expressed that in the listing presentation.
So let's talk to the agent that is 15 years in the business. Mm-hmm. They've sold 2, 3, 4 houses in that farm over the last 5 years.
Yeah.
And like they know the market, but they sometimes have a problem articulating it, expressing it, being that dominant agent. What do you say to that person? Like help him or her get better.
That we talked about. I think you have to have that talk with yourself in the car before you go in, psyching yourself up.
Yep.
Be Michael Phelps, imagine yourself swimming, getting the gold medal. You have to picture in your brain how a perfect listing presentation is going to go.
Yes.
How much excitement and energy you're going to bring to the table at the listing presentation. You're going to be excited about the house. You love the house. It's an amazing house. Not without lying to them, right?
No.
If it's a house that's got potential, then you explain its potential. But you got to be excited. It's got to be good. And you have to have that game plan and role play it, right?
Mm-hmm.
This isn't, again, you don't wing it.
No.
You should be role playing this with your coach.
Yes.
Role playing it with your role play partners. And then you go into it, with that mindset, all psyched up, ready to go, and then you go in. You can't wing it. You got to role play it.
Yeah.
Right. And the good thing is, if you're making the calls and you're doing the appointments, you're just gonna get better.
Yes.
It's a slight edge.
Yes.
You just get incrementally better, and you make mistakes, and you figure out, and you try something different, and literally every listing presentation I go on is different.
Yeah.
If there are some
now,
high
you
points.
say that, but there are
some
fundamental
elements.
things that you got Felix, the Felix the cat, the magical bag of tricks.
Yeah.
And you pull out based on their criteria.
Right.
Here's the track record. Here's the number.
Yeah.
Here's the marketing.
Exactly.
You guys want negotiation.
There's basic fundamentals. We need to know, where they want to move.
Yeah.
How are we going to get there?
Yeah.
Like a big problem that people always have is, I don't know where I want to go.
Yeah.
Or how can I buy the next house if the market's so hot and sell my house first? I don't want to do that. I want to be homeless. So how can you solve those problems?
Yeah.
Like, our business is problem solving. The bigger
Yes.
problem you solve, the more money you make, right? That's what it is.
That's it. That is it. That's all business.
It is all business. And it's how much value you're bringing. And like I always tell my team, right? The bigger the problem you have, the more money you make.
Mm-hmm.
We want to be 1% better at everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
Our marketing has to be 1% better. Our communication has to be 1% better. Customer service has to be 1% better. And all that turns into 5% or 10% more for the client.
Bingo.
Right?
Bingo.
And I'm just telling you, the harder it is, the more opportunity there is for us.
Yeah.
And that's what I believe.
So you're in a marketplace that is super tight on inventory.
Yeah.
Super tight. So when you talk about open houses and, being on appointments, it's like a privilege.
Mm-hmm.
Or an open house, there could be 30, 40, 50 people walking
I
through.
had like 200 this weekend on Miller.
Like 200 people through because the market is that
hot.
tight.
And it just woke up.
And agents are like, but there's no inventory. And I'm not asking you to like punch them in the face right now on the podcast, but do you have any like just friendly, warm advice to help them get more inventory outside of the stuff we're talking about?
Yes.
Tell them.
I mean, the thing about real estate is there's no like secret black hole wormholes where like pretend houses exist that are going to sell. It's not like that.
No, exactly.
Every house in Saratoga, you can drive on the street and see the house and the owner lives in the house.
Yes.
Or you can, go online and see where they actually live because they're renting it out.
Yep.
So here's what you can
do. All the data's there.
You can call them, you can send them a letter, or you can knock on their door.
Yep.
That's it. It's not rocket science.
No.
But it's hard work to do it every single month.
Bingo.
On top,
bingo.
Right? It's hard work.
Yes.
And so that's the other thing. Like, we know we're going to outwork everybody. And we talked about that a million times.
Exactly. We're just going to work harder. You got to tell the story, and then I'm going to tell you a little story. You got to tell the story of you're with the kids in Hawaii, and you fly home for the open house.
Yeah. So this is pretty consistent for like the last few years. So I got 4 kids, and they'll go to Hawaii, and we'll book a house for 2 or 3 weeks. And they'll usually leave like on a Friday. And so I'll stay behind. I'll do an open house Saturday, Sunday. I'll fly out on Monday morning, and I'll go, and then I'll come back on Friday, back Saturday, Sunday, and back out on Monday. And I'll do that 2 or 3 times while they're there for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Because it's that important. Because I make a commitment to my sellers that I will be at every single open house the first weekend.
Yeah.
That's what they're paying for. That's why they're hiring me.
Yeah.
Because I do an amazing job there. And
yes,
each one ends up being worth $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 a weekend.
Yes.
How am I going to walk away from that? No way.
Exactly.
That's why we got to go to Hawaii.
Yep.
It's why I'm going to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Right?
Nice.
Bought tickets. Why?
Yes,
Why not?
of
right?
course.
It's half a commission. Let's go.
Are we going?
I'm going. You're going? I'll see you there if you want to go.
I'm just So Maxine Gallon's writer, you've known forever, right? So
they're my idols. Like
they're
they've been my
legends.
idols, legends. I've every year I was like, oh my God, how are they doing $1 million a year? You'd always say, they made $2 million this year. They can't live on it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. How
you're like, I can try and live on it.
Yeah,
if you give me $2 million, give me a shot.
Exactly.
But, I mean, now obviously, like, your business you have elevated to such a, there's just a few people in the country now that are doing these kind of numbers.
Yeah.
So get this, we're sitting downstairs, right? You finished the little morning session and she walks in, she goes, God, I'm talking to you because I missed our coaching session, right? So, because we were here and then last week. So she goes, I give you an update. I said, tell me. She goes, there's no inventory, right? They're going back to that no inventory thing. And I said, there's actually inventory. She goes, no, but here's the thing. I get a phone call from a very successful person. Can't say the person's name, but and he says, hi, Maxine. I was looking online and I noticed you sell a lot of houses in the area. Mm-hmm. And this guy's a billionaire, right?
Big money,
right. And he's like, I noticed you. She says, yes, I do. And he says, well, I'm a part of this. And she builds a rapport. Well, I understand this and and they're just having a little friendly chat. Yeah. She says, how can I help? Well, I want to buy a house on this street. And she goes, oh. She goes, yeah. I've sold this one, that one, this one, that one, this one, this one, this one. Yep. But right now there's nothing on the market except that one that I've been trying to sell for 4 years, but you know why I can't sell it? And the guy's like, yeah, I heard about that. And then he says, but I actually wrote an offer with another agent on this one. And she goes, oh yeah, I was the listing agent. I remember your offer was horrible. That's why we didn't accept it. Well, why didn't you counter? She says, I couldn't counter because the offer was stupid. She said, we know who you are. Yeah. Like if you're going to write an offer, buy the house, right? She's having a conversation with this guy. The guy says, okay, I want to hire you. She says, for what? He says, find me a house on that street. She goes, there's only 22 properties. What are you going to do? She goes, I pull out my Tom Ferry magic buyer letter. Yep. And she goes, and I write a letter
to
every one of the sellers.
There you go.
Deliver it. Yes. She said, and the phone rings.
Yeah.
She goes, the phone rings. The guy says, oh my God, Maxine, I got your letter. Now, of course, let's be really clear. The letters are not mailed to the houses. Mm-hmm. These are all second, third, fourth, 8 homes, sitting inside trusts, under corporations. Yeah. So she didn't send digging. She said, we took the time and the letters went to the right people at the right location at Corporation X to, Chairman Andy C. And boom, one phone call. Perfect. Listing. Yeah. Right? 8 figures. Yeah. She goes, and I got the deal together. Yeah. She goes, why doesn't everybody do this?
Exactly.
Right now, you're watching this right now. You got a buyer, right? There is no inventory. Your average sales price is $225. You're in Oklahoma, right? And you're complaining there's no inventory. Do the work.
Do the work.
Right?
Exactly.
I mean, whether it's the open house or the letter or making the phone calls or ding dong.
Right.
The consistent thing with you is work.
Work. I mean, I've done more open houses than probably anybody in the country has over the last 15 years. I'm pretty positive of that.
Yeah. You don't say that with a lot of positive energy, just for the record. But I mean,
I remember doing all of it. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Do you remember?
Oh, pretty much. I mean, Yeah. I mean, every weekend, whether I'm sick, my kids are sick, doesn't matter. You got to do them. Yeah. And it's just that slight edge has built up because now my open houses are different because the people that come into my houses now will say, I came into one of your open houses 8 years ago. You were kind enough to show us some houses. We weren't ready then, but we're ready now. We want this house. Let's write an offer. Bingo. That happens a lot.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Bingo. Yeah. But is that the combination of obviously the moment, the humanity that you bring to the transaction? You're an excellent negotiator. You do so many of those right things, but you're also mailing them every other week. So
they're in the marketplace.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Big difference.
They see the name.
Okay, you've said Slight Edge 5 times. If I didn't say, I know what it is, right?
Okay.
So, let's just for the people that don't know. Yeah.
Book by Jeff Olson. You can find it on audio. And it's
get the unabridged audio version with Jeff Olson doing the first 42 minutes, right?
Like that alone. It's phenomenal. And I listen to that constantly over and over. I probably listen to it 500 times literally. And it's just the idea of just doing a little bit every single day because you're getting a little bit better or a little bit worse every single day. But if you do a little bit every single day, you get this compound effect where just like in farming, you do 1 deal, then 2 deals, then 4, then 8, then 20. It's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's not how it
linear.
Goes.
No,
it's exponential.
Yeah.
As long as you're continuing on the positive path. And doing stuff on the negative path will exponentially wreck you as well.
Exactly.
So you can choose which path you want to be on.
I love what he says. He said, Jim Rohn, easy to do, easy not to do.
Easy to do, easy not to do.
Right. And then he says, look, it's easy to, eat a salad every day. He said, but it's also easy to eat a hamburger. And if you eat a hamburger every day, he said, if you eat one day, it's not going to kill you. Yeah. But if you eat a hamburger every day. I mean, all you gotta do is like watch these like, videos on Netflix, these people that eat like 36 days in a row on a hamburger, and you're like, how did he put on 217 pounds and he looks like he's yellow and about to die? Yeah. That's the slight edge.
It is
do the thing, have the power.
Exactly. Yeah, I can't agree more.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. So closing thoughts, Andy, because you shared a lot of insight, scripts, ideas, tactics. What do you want to say to the real estate world out there?
Gosh, I would say, you just like your quote on the screen today, right? You get paid exactly the value you bring to the marketplace.
Yeah.
And if it's really hard, be thankful it's hard.
Yes.
Because that's job security. The harder it is, the more secure my job is, because I'm the only guy that can do it. When it's hard, that's when we get paid the most, and that's when we bring the most value. If it's too easy, it's going to be commoditized.
Yes.
And people do it for $10 an hour, right? And I would just say, just show up, be your best at all times, and the rest will work itself out. So
I love it, man. I love you, buddy.
Okay.
Super proud of you, man. So
thank you so much.
You definitely want to share this with your friends that are new. You definitely want to listen to this 100 times and even take like little segments of just that open house stuff, right? All the scripting, even the old cold call script is still so legendary.
It still works, man.
100%, man.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks so much for watching. Share this with somebody and stay in action. Stay in action, stay in action, stay in action, because that's the message.
Thank you, Tom.
See you guys.